So I was in Dublin recently and I was talking to some Jehovah's Witnesses on the street. And as I was talking to them and sharing the gospel and how we can know with certainty that Jesus is God, this man came, this drunk man came staggering down the street, and it was like such a distraction. And it just really made me think that what the Bible says, that we wrestle against these principalities and these dark forces in the world, that there are so many ways, I think, when you're presenting the gospel to somebody, that I feel the enemy will try to intervene. So in this case, as I was talking to them in the middle of the conversation, this man came just like staggering down the street and just like almost like bumping into them, and they were like, oh, like, and they got very distracted, and I was trying to like steer the conversation back onto what we were talking about. But in another example, when I was talking to this woman on the plane next to me who was a Mormon, as I was talking to her and sharing my faith, the plane started to rock violently, and it was so scary. And I actually had my eyes closed as I was talking to her out of fear, but I was still talking to her, and we were so engaged in this conversation. She was just like, we were wrapped up in this conversation. She was talking back to me, so it still worked out really well. But another time I was on a horse and I was talking to this young girl who was like a trip leader, and we were both on horses. And as I started to talk about how my faith in Jesus has just brought me so much peace, and in particular about my own sin, as soon as I said that word sin, the horse started to like buck and just started to like run away. And I was still on it. And it was like riding down a hill. I was so scared. But I feel like in this world, there's so many ways in which the enemy can try to derail us when we're sharing our faith. So please be mindful of that, and please keep the conversation directed on Jesus and on what you're saying, and just know that it's extremely important, which is why there's so much opposition trying to pull you away from what you're saying.